Great. Well, thanks very much. Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining. We want to establish Pinnacle as a very different type of company in the sense that we're not just straight exploration. We're not out looking to make a discovery or build a resource. We want to get into production as quickly as possible and then build the company out of cash flow more than dilutive financings. So that's really how you develop shareholder value, and that's really what we intend to do. With the project that we have focused in Mexico. So the board it's a smallish board management team. We're mainly myself, who I've been in this business for about 45 years and built another company previously called Great Panther Silver, and we did that using the same business model effectively that we're using now, and to take a past producing mine and bring it back into production and build the company that way. So we've done this before. One of my colleagues, Colin Jones, is also a geologist from New Zealand, and Colin has operated around the world, and he consults for banks and other funds and so on. So highly respected geologist. And then there's Dave Solari, a metallurgical engineer who has his own firm in Toronto and is actually overseeing 3 other plants being built in Mexico right now. So from a metallurgical process standpoint, Dave's a great guy to have on board and to oversee the work that we're doing in Mexico right now. In one sense, you could say that this graphic really summarizes everything that the company is about right now. Even though this is only 6 weeks old, but already you can see the gold price is already about $700 out of date. All that has really done is increase the profit margin that the producers are making right now. And this is why we want to really focus on getting back into production and building the company out of cash flow. We want to get into production as quickly as possible. So how are we going to do that? For a small company, you can't just go out and buy a multi-million-dollar operation and start up producing. You require a small scale, but something that's affordable and high grade, fast producing, and then just bring it back online as quickly as we can. And this is what we've done before, and we know we can do it again. We think that we can use an offtake agreement, get an advance on that for the capex requirements, and use that to finance getting the mine back up and into production again. And that way it minimizes equity financings and shareholder dilution. Not only do we have a highly experienced board and management team in Canada, we have 100% Mexican team in Mexico, mining engineers, geologists, and this is part of the team that I'm rebuilding from my previous company. And so I think we can use that to our advantage to be able to bootstrap this operation back into production as quickly as we can. But while we're doing that, we're also looking for additional acquisitions to basically build on what we're doing, so that this one project that we're starting with now is really just a means to an end. It's not this project in its own right that's going to develop the company, but this will just kickstart us and get us going, and then we'll ramp on other company or other projects after that. So where are we? We're in northwestern Durango in Mexico State, Durango State in Mexico, and within the Sierra Madre trend. It's a very prolific area. Sierra Madre has some of the largest silver gold mines in Mexico and in the world, actually, and it's a very, very prolific trend, and Durango is a very mining-friendly state. You can see where we are here. We're surrounded by 4 operating mines, the largest being Cienega, which is owned by Fresnillo, which is actually the largest silver mining company in the world. And Cienega is the largest underground mine in Mexico. Other mines, Tahuehueto, owned by Luca Mining, Topia Mine, owned by Guanajuato, and San Geronimo Mine, which is privately owned. So being surrounded by 4 operating mines, you know that you're in a very strong, very prolific mining district. And we have a plant on site that it's been sitting idle for about 35 years, so it does need to be rebuilt. And we intend to do that. It's on the smaller side, as I mentioned, but that means it's affordable. And we can get this back up and running and start to generate cash flow as quickly as possible. So that's really the idea around this, and fairly straightforward processing circuit. And our director, Dave Solari, is helping out with that. So we're quite confident we can move this project forward fairly quickly. There are some old underground mines that they started to put into production. This is going back to the 1980s. So the mines, nothing's operated for the last 35 years. So it will need some refurbishing and getting it back up and running again. But we do have easy access, to the mines, to the plant, and we've sampled some very, very high grades to date. And this is something that has really helped in terms of showing the mining community and investors and shareholder base what it is that we want to do with this project. And as I mentioned, we've really just got going with this project. Going back at the end of February, so it's only been about 8 months or so. But each time we've put out news of some very high-grade results, the share price has reacted accordingly. So we started out at 4 cents at the beginning of the year, and now up to 12 cents. So even those investors that just took part 8 months ago have now tripled their investment in a matter of months. And for those that took part in the last financing at 6 cents, they've doubled their money just in 2 months. So this is where the leverage comes in for the junior mining companies. It's much more profitable than just say buying bullion, for example. In terms of the share structure, a little over 100 million shares on issue, and importantly, 27% of that is owned by insiders. Our largest shareholder, Michael Kott, is in Munich, Germany. He owns 14% of the company. I own about 9% myself, and so it's a very strong shareholder base. And we have roughly 31% of our shareholders from Europe as well that are very long-term shareholders. So there's really only about a 40% public float right now, so it's a very well-structured company from that standpoint. So it's in summary, with Pinnacle, we're creating a new company but with a proven business model that I've done this before, where we start with small-scale production, expand the resources and production as we go, and build the company out of cash flow as much as possible rather than dilutive financings. And as I mentioned, management, including myself and the others, have a successful track record in doing this in the past. We are focused in Mexico at the moment. We have other projects in the Red Lake area of Ontario, Canada, and I'm open to moving into South America. A lot of experience in working in Peru, but for now the focus is on Mexico. And focus is on high-grade underground mines and advancing the company that way. So with that, I'll wrap it up, and thanks very much for your attention.